Recently, my app crossed 4,900 downloads as I'm recording this, and it is on pace to hit 5,000 by the end of the day. So I wanted to go ahead and make this video and talk about a few things, kind of just go over some of the learnings I've taken away from this and share them with you guys. Just a little bit of background, the app I'm talking about is 2man. It's a dating app. I've made a few videos about it recently, talking about getting it approved on the App Store and some other things like marketing. And recently the app has been doing pretty well, good enough to the point where I thought I should share some of my learnings. This is really a video for anybody who's in the same boat, anybody who's trying to create their own startup, student like myself. Hopefully some of these things can help you out in your own journey. So the first thing is that it's going to be hard, a lot harder than you expect. I know a lot of people, and I've been a victim to this as well, when you think about an idea and you think about how you're going to execute it, it seems so simple and so straightforward, and more often than not, it is not that simple to actually get it done. I think it's important when you're trying to start your own business or make your own product that you set manageable expectations, because things are tough. Things are not always going to go the way you want, and you have to be able to plan for that, because otherwise you're going to become discouraged along the way, and then you just stop, right? And then once you do stop, you'll be sitting there regretting it forever until you try again, if you try again. I think this is especially true for the tech space. It is more saturated than ever, and everybody wants to create their own products, and you really just have to be able to outlast the pack. Now, a second big learning for me is that things take time. I've been working on this specific app, 2man, since last July. And that is just one of the apps I've been working on. I've been working on others for much longer than that. The moral of the story is it's been about 8 months since I started work on the app, and I've worked on it every single day since then. Even on days when I felt discouraged and thought, why was I even doing this? I kept working on it, and eventually I was able to see some success, which we'll talk about in a second. And this point also relates to the one I just said before about things being harder than you expect. It's going to take more time than you expect. In addition to taking time, it's also going to take a little bit of luck, so you got to do yourself a favor and stay consistent. You know what they say, consistency negates luck. So if you keep showing up, your chances of succeeding will be a lot higher than somebody who doesn't. All right, so this next point is a little bit annoying, especially to somebody like me who is a technical founder, but it's the fact that marketing is extremely important. It is probably more important than your product itself. You can spend a year, 2 years building the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, nobody is going to use it. And for a lot of technical people, you probably spend much of your time trying to perfect your product. But the reality is that your product does not have to be perfect for people to actually use it. I think this is very obvious for the app that I'm talking about, 2man. When I first released it, it had a lot of bugs and issues with it. And I eventually got those fixed in the months following the release. But there are still things missing in the app, certain features that I know people would like to have. But that hasn't stopped the app from getting to 5,000 downloads. Also, talking about marketing, if you are like me and you don't have a big budget, you don't have an investment to get these downloads, you should be leveraging organic content. I'll pull it up on the screen. This is the TikTok account that we're using for the 2man app, and this is actually what's getting us most of our downloads. And we had one video that went really viral, and this actually led to the spike in downloads. We had something like 500 downloads, and out of nowhere this video went viral, and now we're at almost 5,000. Organic content is also hard, so you need to spend time and perfect it and stay consistent, just like anything else. Alright, so I only have a few more points. I think those first three were some of the more obvious ones, but people probably don't expect them to affect them as much as they do. These next 2 points are really going to be related to consumers and their behaviors. The first of those two is that most users do not stay. And this is more specific to the mobile platform, because when you are building a website, this isn't a statistic that you would normally track, at least in my opinion. I haven't in the past. But the App Store will tell you your day 1 retention all the way up to your day 28 retention and tell you which percentile you fall in. So you can really understand how many people are leaving your app. I think the biggest surprise for me was that 70% of people who download your app don't even stay. They'll just delete it on the first day. So that was kind of eye-opening for me. The app has reached almost 5,000 downloads, but in terms of the users, it only has about 2,200. It's still a good amount, but it's considerably less compared to the amount of people who actually download the app. The last thing is that people will leave negative reviews, and you have to respond to them accordingly. Some people will leave reviews that are actually helpful to you, that maybe help you fix bugs or change their product so it's better, but other people will just leave reviews that are nonsense, and unfortunately it can hurt the brand's image. You'll see these negative reviews a lot when you're running ads on TikTok. People leave harsh comments like saying your app is really stupid, and you either have to respond to those comments or just delete them, because you don't want people's first perception of your app to be extremely negative because somebody else left a bad comment. People are also going to leave bad reviews on the App Store. That's going to hurt your star rating, and you definitely want to do what you can to keep this rating as high as possible. But certain categories, especially things like dating apps, are just going to have a negative rep overall. And then people do leave comments on the reviews as well. Like for example, this one where this guy was saying chats delete randomly, which they don't. But he didn't understand that. So that actually helped me with my product design, because for some reason it's not very apparent that if somebody unmatches you or blocks you or deletes their account that the chat would delete. And I guess that's an oversight on my side. Also, he spoke about the sign up, and I can understand why he would think the sign up process is pretty bare bones and doesn't really have any structure. So that is definitely something I have to fix. So those were some of the things that I learned getting my app to 5,000 downloads. I'll probably make another one of these videos when the app hits another milestone. Until then, thank you for watching.